Morning, students. I hope all of you can hear. Can anyone at least tell me that you are able to hear me? You can message in the box. Okay, so let's start the class. So today's class is about free living amoebae. Okay. So I hope all of you know what is amoebae and all that. I am not going in detail of that. So we'll start the class. So at the end of the class, each one of you will be knowing what is free living amoebae, what is the epidemiology, what is its classification, what is its structure, in which all forms it exists, how is the life cycle, what are the clinical manifestations, and how do it cause the such clinical manifestations, that is pathogenesis. Then what is the host immunity, how do you diagnose it, maybe clinical as well as laboratory diagnosis, treatment, and finally prevention and control. So coming to introduction, these free-living amoebae are very small, free-living, widely distributed in soil and water. They are there in the soil and water. There are many genera in this free-living amoebae. Important ones are Naegleria, Acanthamoeba, Belemmuthia, and Sapinia. Sapinia is not very common. Only one case has been reported till now in the world. So you can only think of Naegleria, Acanthamoeba, and Belemmuthia. So these three species are the one which cause human infections, and normally they live as two phases or two in different phases, that is phagotrophs and opportunists. So what is this phagotrophs? Phagotrophs are one where these free living live in aquatic habitats and they feed on bacteria. So it is their natural habitat where they are not causing any disease. And when they infect humans, that is then they are known as opportunists. So here they may produce serious infection of the central nervous system and the eye. So here we are talking of the free living amoebae which cause central nervous system infection. There are no other free living amoebae which can cause other organ involvement, but mainly central nervous system involvement along with few times keratitis, that is the eye. They are termed as amphizooic because they have ability to live in two worlds. You know that there are amphibians, okay, which can live both on land as well as in the water. So same thing here for these free living amoebae also, that is amphizooic. So they can live in two worlds, that is free living organisms as well as endoparasites within human beings. Okay, so that is opportunists. Next, coming to its epidemiology, these free-living amoebae are aerobic eukaryotic protists that comprise of several genera. So we'll go to it next later. What are the different genera available? So I have already told you, that is Acanthamoeba, Naegleria, and Belemmuthia. So they are seen worldwide, especially in the tropical countries, because that is the temperature, you know, that which will flourish most of the organisms. And it is found in freshwater, mud, moist soil, and they feed on bacteria. So these CNS infections are mainly caused by Naegleria fowleri, Acanthamoeba species. There are different species of Acanthamoeba, like Acanthamoeba culbostoni, polyphaga. Okay, so those different species. Then you have Belemmuthia mandrillaris, which is very common. Among Belemmuthia, this mandrillaris is the common. And there are many cases which are reported in the literature about Acanthamoeba keratitis. In India, there are only 2 cases of primary amoebic meningoencephalitis which are reported by Pan and Ghosh in 1971. But there are cases, more than 20 cases are already reported. Next, coming to its classification. So you know that all the organisms or animals which are living on the earth, so they have been classified in these subheadings, that is kingdom, subkingdom, phylum, subphylum, then you have class, order, family and genus. So these free living amoebae come under the kingdom Protista, subkingdom Protozoa, phylum is Sarcomastigophora and subphylum is Sarcodina. So under this subphylum Sarcodina, you have two classes. That is, class 1 is Loboceae, which again contains two orders. Then there is class 2, that is Acarpomyxia. So this under class 1 Loboceae, you have order Amoebida. So in this you have family called as Acanthamoebida. So genus is Acanthamoeba. So this you have to remember, there are different species, Acanthamoeba castellani, Calbustoni and Polyphaga. Whereas under the order Schizopyrenidae, you have genus called as Naegleria. So we have Naegleria fowleri, which is seen commonly in human beings, but there are different species of Naegleria which can also affect the mice. That is Naegleria australiensis and Naegleria italica. Just forget about that. Just remember, Naegleria fowleri is the one which is going to cause infection in humans. Then you have second class, that is Acarpomyxia. Under that you have genus Belamuthia. So Belamuthia mandilaris is the only species which is there in the uh, genus Belamuthia. Okay, so this is a classification. I hope everybody is clear with the classification. Next, going to what are the different structure and how does it live with different morphology, what are the different morphology and its life cycle. So here the nuclei of free-living amoebae are characterized by a large central nucleolus or karyosome and a nuclear membrane without chromatin granules. So you can see here, actually I'll go one by one so that you will understand it in a better way. That is a generalized statement, that is they have a large central nucleolus and a nuclear membrane without chromatin granules. I will try to show in this picture. You can see here, correct? So there is a central nucleus in the, there is nucleolus without any chromatin granules. So this is very characteristic feature of all the free living amoebae. Next, coming to Naegleria. Yes, so coming back to it, Naegleria has